Welcome to another tech help video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I am your instructor, Richard Rost. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up a custom form background in your Microsoft Access forms. Change the complete look of the form, including the title bar, which you normally can't do in Access. If you're feeling futuristic, you can make your own futuristic look in whatever graphic editor that you want, like Photoshop. Or if you're feeling nostalgic like me and you want to make your forms look like Windows 95, like the one you see on the screen, you can do that too. I'll also show you how to recreate the minimize and close buttons. Anthony from the UK, a Learning Connection member, asks, is there a way to change the properties of the form title bar? I would like to left align the caption, change the font color, and perhaps the background color of that title bar. Can you do this in Access? Well, generally the answer is no. Access does not give you much control over what you can do with the outline of form windows. You can do whatever you want on the inside of the window, but the form window itself is actually controlled by Windows. And even if you change your Windows theme and the Windows colors, you still don't get much control over what happens inside of Access. So in this video, I'll show you how to get around that. Access gives you a lot of control about what you can do in here. You can change fonts, colors, sizes, all that stuff. But what happens up here is handled by Windows. Access doesn't draw windows on the screen. Access just fills in windows. Windows, the operating system, draws those windows. There's several ways to change a lot of the stuff in Access. Like you can use themes, right? If you go to Design View, you can go over here and change themes. But this just changes what's inside the window. It doesn't change what's up here. Okay? You can go out to your Windows control panel and change the way a lot of things look in Windows, but it still doesn't change this color or this font. All right, these title bars and all this stuff, that's all set. All right, Access handles the way these windows are drawn for forms differently than most applications do. So if you want to change the way your title bar looks, you have to do it yourself. Now the good news is you can do most of it without any programming at all. But you'll lose a little functionality, like the ability to move the window around. But as long as you're okay with that window popping up in a specific location, then you're good. What you need to do is design yourself a custom-looking form in whatever designer you like. You can use Windows Paint or Photoshop, or in the last lesson when I talked about form aesthetics, I used Excel or PowerPoint. You can draw objects that look like a window. All right, remember these guys that I drew in the last Tech Help? There's a link to this video down below. Go click on it and watch this if you haven't already. But I created my own little custom form using PowerPoint or Excel. All right. The only thing that didn't change, this. Okay. Can't change this. But you can recreate it using a borderless form. Let me show you what I mean. Go into your form design properties and find, where is it now? Right there, border style. There's sizable, which is the default. Okay, go to none. And yes, I cover all the other ones in my lessons, but just go to none for now. Close that. And now open that customer form back up. And look at that. There's no border around it. Okay? Yeah, you still got these navigation buttons on the bottom and stuff in the record selector. And you can actually control whether these are visible or not too. Those are just simply properties. If you don't want to see those, you could turn those off too. Now, what do you do for a border? Well, you have to make your own background for this. So let's close this guy real quick, or go back to Design View. That's the only way you can get back out of there, by the way, because notice you've got no close button. You have to create your own close button, your own minimize, your own maximize. All right, the menu bar over here, or excuse me, the command button. All right, this guy over here, that's a little more work, but I wouldn't bother with that, to be honest. You could do everything over here. But let's go back to Design View and let's find or make a background that you like. Let's say you're feeling nostalgic, okay? I went out to the web and I did a Google search on some older images. All right, you've got your DOS, your old DOS editor, right? You've got Windows 3, you've got Windows 95 and Vista looks, okay? I even found one here from Access 95. This is an old form from Access 95 that I found on Google. So if you want to build something new and cool looking and futuristic, go to town. Or if you're feeling nostalgic and you want to go back to this look, you can. All right, so let's say this is the stuff you want. This is what you want. Now, you can either leave these fields in here and just put your text boxes on top of these, or you can get rid of these and just go blank. Like, you can do something like this. I'm using Windows Paint. This is the easiest graphic editor to use, and it works fine for stuff you're going to do in Access. If you like to go high speed and use Photoshop, that's fine. All you have to do in here is with the selection tool, just do this. All right, draw a box like that, and then grab one edge of it and go like that. That'll wipe the whole thing. That just basically fills that box over the top of that. So if you want to go with that and just take the border, that's fine. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to leave those text boxes in there and those labels. Because like I showed you in the last class, you can design the whole form and just fill your data in where you want it to be. I think I am going to get rid of this record selector because I'm going to turn the record selector and the navigation buttons off. We'll make our own. All right, so you got to be very careful in here, and you got to just kind of go like this and then slide that over the top of that like that. Let's see if I can get rid of it. Yeah, that's good. See, it always misses a little tiny piece at the top. It's not exact. Let's see here. Did I get it? Yeah, that's perfect. And I'm not going to bother recreating this whole thing. I'll just make that like a close button if they double click on it. All right, so I'm going to go back over to Access here for a minute. And I am going to, let's just whittle this down to the fields I want in here. I'm going to get rid of these buttons. I'm going to keep the ID. What do we got on this thing? We're going to do the ID, and then I got this field called title and then note. Okay, so we got ID. Let's keep first name as that title, and then we'll get rid of this stuff, and we'll keep the notes around. Okay, and I'm going to do that, and let's make these so they're basically transparent and very small. So I'm going to highlight all of these, right-click, go to Properties. Let's change the font size down to 9. Let's go backstyle transparent. Looks good. Okay, so now I got just my text boxes. And we're gonna slide these over that background image. Alright, so let's go back over to Paint. Now I'm gonna use my screen capture utility. I use Hypersnap, but you can just move this up into the corner and shrink this down and copy and paste it if you want, or however you want to do it, however you want to get this image into Access. I have a cool screen capture utility. There's a million of them online. But I'm just gonna grab the corner here. And I missed it. Hang on. Okay, there. It was easier to do off camera because I want to get it exact to the right pixel, and it took me a minute. Okay, so let's go back over to Access. I'm going to paste this in here now as an image. All right, and the border always comes in thick, so let's turn the border off. Oh, no, this one came in transparent. Okay, that's fine. All right, so let's take these little labels we got sitting back here and put these right over these boxes. Just like so. And you could get them, you can match them up exactly if you want to. I'm just going to get them close enough. There. I do the same trick with reports, by the way. Oh, I got that image in there when I captured it. Oh, well, that's going to have to stay there because I'm not redoing it. You might have to right-click on this guy and go Position, Send to Back. Yeah, there we go. Let's get these right on there. Perfect. Notes. And there we go. Yeah, that's going to have to stay there for now. I'm sorry. Okay, let's close that up. Save it. Close it. Customers. Okay. Now we got to do a little bit more work. We got to turn off these things, right? So right-click, Design View. Right-click. Hang on. Yeah, this happens sometimes. I don't have right-click Design View available anymore, so you have to come up here to Views under Home tab. Views, Design View. All right, that'll happen sometimes. All right, so let's go to turn off the control box. No. Close button. No, those are already gone. Minimum and maximize buttons. No. Okay, we have to go to navigation buttons off, record selectors off, and scroll bars neither. All right, close that up, and let's take a look at it again. All right, now it's starting to look like our form. I can still see borders around these text boxes, so let's turn those off. Again, no design view. So, design view. All right, let's highlight these. Shift click on that background to turn that off. And format. The shape outline is transparent. That should get rid of those borders. Yep, back to form view. It looks good. All right, it's still overlapping. If you want to get it exact, we could come in here and play with that size a little bit more. If the grid is too, I covered this in the last lesson, you could change the grid size. Where are we at here? Let's see. Grid X and grid Y. They're currently set to 24. Let me slide this up so you can see it. Let's make these 48. Okay. And I'm going to make that makes it so that it's a little more exacting in here. You can have more control over exactly where your controls are. There. Right? 24 is 24 dots per inch, and it's a coarser grid. This made the grid more fine, so you can have a little bit more control over it. All right, save that, close it, open it back up. For those of you who are new and are just joining us and have never watched one of my Tech Help videos before, I like to have fun with these Tech Help videos. This is like entertainment for me, so I have a good time with it, and it's nowhere near as structured and as formal as my actual real classes are. So if it seems like I'm goofing off a little bit, I am. This is fun for me. That's what Tech Help is all about. And yet that's gonna bother me. I'm sorry. I have to go back and do it again. Hang on. Let me get another copy of that. Let me redo it one more time here. All right. I have to use my mouse keys to get right exactly on that corner, and then I'll come down here and get this one. Okay, that should do it without that in the middle. All right, back to design view. Well, I think I'd learned by now I don't have a design view. Okay, get rid of this, click delete, and then paste the new one. Paste. There we go. Right click, position, send to back. Okay, perfect. What I was saying before is I use this technique all the time with reports. I used to always get clients who would say, I need to recreate this report exactly in Access with this exact dimensions because I got to submit it to whoever, insurance companies usually, okay, and they need this exact form, government agencies. So what I would do is take a nice high quality scan of that form, not form, but report. That's another thing is people always use the word form as like a printed thing, and with an Access terminology, it's reports. So I would take a high-quality scan of their document, and then I would make an image out of that and put that as the background of the report. Of course, the problem would come when you'd have spillover, right? If the information in the field was too big, but that's their problem, right? That's the form you got to use. I can make the font smaller, but all right. So let's see what we got. Close that. Open it up. All right, looks good. Now we need to recreate these buttons because right now they do nothing. All right, so that's easy to do. Design view. We need to place transparent buttons over these ones. Now, fortunately, there are command button wizards for these, so you don't have to do anything. Okay? So you can come in here and go, give me command button right there. Drop it like here. Okay? And let's start with the close button. So we've got form operations, close form, next. Just put text on it for now. We're going to make it transparent, so that doesn't matter. Next. And then finish. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the caption text. Okay, let's bring up its properties, double click on it, change transparent to yes. There. So now I have a transparent button, and I'm going to make it nice and small. And I'm going to make it fit right over that button, right there. Get it the best you can. Okay. All right, let's see if it works. Save it, close it, open it back up, close this form. Ho ho ho! It's a beautiful thing. Look at that. Now for this over here, I'm not going to take the time right now to recreate this whole menu. Most people never use it, all right? But they double click here sometimes to close that form. So we're just going to take that button, design view. We're just going to copy that button and put it over the other side for now. If you want, if enough people email me or post in the comments and you want to see me recreate this little menu, I can. All right, it's not that hard. You just make another little. You can probably even do it with a list box that pops up right here. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I'd make a hidden list box right here with those things in it as commands. That would take a little doing, but you could recreate this exactly, except it would open up over the form. Okay. All right. So there, I copied that button. Save it. Close it, open it back up again. Looks good. Yeah, it's not a double click, but the wizard doesn't do this, but if you know macros at all, you can go in here and make it on double click, right? There's an on double click event. Where is it? Right there. In fact, let's do that. I'm not going to use a macro, though. Let's get rid of that macro. Delete that macro. Let's go to the on double click event. And we're going to put in here, there's a little bit of VBA. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I know I try to keep the free tech help videos programming free because I know that there are a lot of beginner users and non-programmers like to watch them. But I might throw in from time to time just a line or two of code. It's not that hard. All right, let me back up just a step and show the non-programmers what I'm doing. The on double click, I'm going to click this dot 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 button. You might get another window up that says what kind of builder do you want. Pick the code builder. All right, that brings you into the VBA editor. And there may be some more panes and stuff on the screen. I turn them off for classes because I hardly ever use them. But right here, I'm inside of Command 30 double click. That's the button that we're working with. And it's one line of code. Do command dot close. All right. And then AC form is if you want to use that, you don't have to. I'm just going to hit comma, comma. And then I like to say AC save yes in case there were any design changes. All right. The middle thing here is just the name of the form. If you want, you can put me.name in there, but you don't have to. It defaults to the current object. Okay, save this. Let's close the editor. Close this, close that. Now this should now be, see I'm clicking on it, click, click, nothing happens. If I double click, it behaved just like the other one did. So I made it from a click event to a double click event. Now unfortunately we have to do the same thing with the minimize and maximize buttons, but guess what? It's one line of code. There are no wizards for these, but it's real easy to do. All right, again, design view. All right, I'm going to copy this button over here. And let's slide it over the top of... see, I missed. I have to grab that. Okay, there we go. Slide that over the top of maximize. All right, open it up. Yeah, I just thought of a problem. When you maximize this, it's going to have to change that background image to a different button. We're not going into that much depth today, folks. It could be done, though. You could have a separate image that's not visible that pops up over that button. It's possible. I'm not going to cover it right now, but you certainly could do it. Okay? The on-click event for this button is going to be simply do command.maximize. That's it. And its neighbor is right next door, do command.restore. Or, excuse me, do command.minimize. Open that up. On click, do command.minimize. Let's see what happens. We're gonna have a problem with the restore buttons. Let's see what it looks like. All right, let's do the minimize first. Okay, not bad. Now it's just sitting down there. Okay, if you double click on it, that's a training issue now. That's fine. All right, it sits down here minimized. If you double click on it, it pops back up. That's actually kind of nice. Let's see what the maximize looks like. Okay, all right. Maximize is going to be, that would be a lot of programming because you'd have to have it where it knows that it's got maximized. You'd have to redraw the window or make it so that this image changes. You can have two images and then change it back and forth. I honestly would probably find it easier to just not offer them maximize, to be perfectly honest. Whoops. And that's still maximized. Let's draw it back down. Actually, let's see something here. Hold on. Customers, maximize. You know what? There's a restore button right up here. Yeah. But it doesn't change the dimensions of this form. I would just turn off maximize, to be honest with you. You know, gray it out. Make it look like it's not available. Go back into your thing here. Let's zoom in. And you could either remove that button completely or just gray it out. You know, draw some gray in there. I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab this button. Let me see here. Let me grab this and just slide it over that one. Oh, I went too far. There, I got it. Took me a minute. There. Offer them a minimize. No reason for a maximize for this form. It's only 3 things. If you want to do it, it'd be a lot of work, but you could do it. It's possible. Okay? Now I just got to recreate this guy. All right, copy to my clipboard. Back to access. Back to design view. Whoops, clicked on the wrong window. Sorry about that. Back to design view. Come on. Stay with me. Delete. And then let's get rid of that maximize button there. We don't need it. Put you where that is. And then paste. Right click. Position. Send to back. Okay. All right. Save. Let's move this back up here. Save it, close it, open it. All right. We've got a double click over here. We've got a minimize. Don't need a restore button. Maximize is gone. And we got a close button. Okay. Now, I would suggest, as far as record navigation goes, I would suggest open this up from a list form. Well, I just accidentally tried to move this out of the way. That brings up another issue. Moving this form around. Yes, it's possible. I'm going to cover it in the extended cut. All right, I do know how to do it. It's going to take a little while. I'll do it for the members in the extended cut edition. But for you, for the rest of everybody, this is just going to have to sit here. All right, you can close it, you can move it, whatever. I would suggest open it up in design view, like customer F design view. Put it exactly where you want it, like there. Save that position by hitting save. Now when you open it, it should open in that spot. Okay, whenever you move a form and hit save, it'll save its location. And yes, I have other lessons on how to exactly control where a form opens up. But as far as record navigation goes, moving through the records, I would suggest do it with a list form like this. All right, we have a list of customers, and then you can double click on one of those. I have other lessons on that too. I'll put something in the links below the class. Look for the link called customer list form. You basically have a list of customers, and then you click on, double click on this, and it'll open up that customer. But if you want to move around inside of this form through the records, you can. There are buttons to give you that navigation capability. Okay, and you can put them on here. They're right here. I think the wizard does them too. Let's see. Record operations. Yeah, right here. Add new record, delete record, duplicate record, print, and so on. So you could recreate. I'll just do one. I'll show you the let's see, record navigation. We can do these two. All right, go to next record, like this one. All right, I'll put a little picture on it. Arrow to the right, or that one. All right, and finish. So here's my little, and you can make this transparent and put it over little buttons. Do whatever you want with it. All right, but once that button's on your form, all right, now you can use this to navigate through the records. So you can recreate any look and feel you want. Design your own form using your graphic editor and make buttons look exactly the way you want. Then just drop a transparent button over the top of it like I did here in Access. All right, that's exactly how I would do it if I wanted to make something cool and futuristic or totally retro like this. All right, if you want, you can also save this as a template. If you want to make all your forms look like that, there's no way to do them all at once with any kind of theming. You have to do them individually. But if that's really what you want, you can achieve pretty much any look and feel you want inside of Access. Want to learn even more about creating your custom form? Well, in the members only extended cut video, I show how to move that custom form around the screen with click and drag, just like you would a normal window. I'll teach you about the MouseDown and the MouseMove events and how you can use those to click and drag that window. Here it is. Click and drag. Look at that. That's really neat, isn't it? So we can close it, we can open it, we can minimize it, and we can click and drag it. How do you become a member? Well, click on that join button down below the video on my YouTube channel. Silver members and up will have access to my extended cut tech help videos, live video and chat sessions, and lots of other perks. Just click on the join button and you'll see all the different membership levels that are available. But don't worry, these tech help videos are always going to be free. I'm going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. If you want to help me out, like and share this video. The more likes, the better. And of course, subscribe to my channel. That's absolutely free. And click that little bell so that you get notifications whenever I release a new video. There are more links down below the video. If you look toward the description there where it says show more, YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding them, but click on that, it'll open up and you'll see different links for different lessons and free videos and all kinds of stuff. If you have not yet checked out my free Access Level 1 class, it's absolutely free. It's 3 hours long. Covers all the basics of building tables, forms, queries, all that stuff. And if you like Level 1, Level 2 is just $1. That's it. No gimmicks. It's just to get you as a new customer, and if you like it, you can buy more. All it costs you is $1, and it's another whole hour of class, and it's free for members. If you join my channel as a member, you get Level 2 for free. Want to see your question answered in a video like this one? Well, submit it on my Tech Help page. There's the address. I'll put a link below. Stop by and check out the Access forum on my website. You can always drop me an email if you'd like. I do prefer them submitted on my website, but if email is your only option, there it is. There's my other cool stuff. Facebook, Twitter. Okay, that's it. I hope you learned something, and we'll see you next time.